and so forth and so on. In other words, they've got a very strong mental theme that's at work. We've seen the electromagnetic connection that's there in the 63-4. So one of the things to understand about their relationship is that their relationship was deeply intellectual and mental. You can see that the whole stream of the individual process is all compromise. She compromises how what inspiration, what insight gets explained. But he compromises what the inspiration is in the first place. He's got the 61-24. You know, he's got the whole thing. She has the 24. So that's his compromise. Now look, compromises are delightful when they're balanced. You know, after all, if you see you got a compromise in your chart with your partner, nice to see that you get one the other way. You know, when they stick it to you, you stick it to them. You know, this is the way that it works, eh? It's fair. It's right. When you're looking at the way in which his mind works, he has the 61-6, again, the 6th line being a direct resonance to the profile. And then when you go to the 24th gate, he has the 24th gate consciously, and the 24th gate is in the 5th line. Now we know that the moment that we hit this 5th line, we hit a dissonance. In other words, that the inspiration for him, the inspiration is part of his purpose, and the inspiration is resonating to his purpose. But the way he rationalizes that, the way he was given to rationalize that, doesn't work. In other words, it's an arduous process to really go through the 61-24. That 5th line in the 24 keeps on going back and back and back, trying to make something out of that 61-6, and it's very difficult to do because there is no common ground. When you come over to her 24, you can see that she has the 24 and she has the 24, lo and behold, in the 5th line, just like him. His inspiration doesn't go through the 24. Just doesn't go through. It can't go through. You know, there's only dissonance at the other end. And they're both blocking that off. And he keeps on trying to bring that inspiration through. The way that it will naturally flow is through the 63-4. Now, the only thing that could have made a real difference and would have ended it as a compromise is if she had had in the 24th gate a resonance or a harmony to his 24-6, to his 61-6. In other words, if she had the 24-3 or she had had the 24-6, then that would have lived out as an electromagnetic, even though it's compromised structure. In other words, the moment you come in there with the right line theme, you can bypass the problem. But by the way, this is not a place to